Can you tell us, did you get anything for the thousands of dollars you gave to the campaign?
Yes, I think I did.
What?
Well, first of all, that I'm facing you now. That's already nice. It's name recognition. I met all my peers in the White House. That was important.
You did not get anything from the president or any help for your pipeline project?
Well, I was not looking for any specific help. I think this is where the fallacy is.
Can I ask you a second? You know, you said you got something, and certainly you said you're here now and you have all this exposure. Do you have a little bit of concern, however, that now you've been on before the committee, that you're being held up as an example why the United States needs campaign reform?
No, I think if I can be helpful to make a new Tamraz law that would help the nation, why not?
And that Tamraz law would be?
I guess Tamraz law would be that that you want to keep certain people out of the White House, so that's fine.
Can you tell us, did you ever make any other similar contributions to other presidential campaigns?
Well, I have been a contributor to the Republicans also, as you know.
How much, and what did access, or what did you get for that?
Well, it was similar access to top people, but at that time it wasn't the White House back in the 80s.
Why was that?
It wasn't offered.
And this was offered?
It wasn't, but they had a brochure and it said that if you became a contributor, you would be invited in certain events. But in fact, nothing was guaranteed anyway. So I don't see what the big issue here. I mean, you just join a club. You may go to the club or you may not, and you may meet the right people or you may not, or you may say something or not, but nothing is guaranteed. So what's the big fuss?
So you're saying the big fuss, you see nothing wrong with contributing thousands of dollars to have access to the United States political system. There's no...
Well, I mean, what's the alternative? I mean, every politician who is elected, does he have to say goodbye to the people who elected him for 4 years and never see them again? I mean, what's a politician elected for? It's to help the electorate.
So, again, you spending the money to do that, you have no problem with that whatsoever, obviously.
Well,
and should you know, systems such as this be influenced politically, perhaps, by the money that's contributed?
But first, it's a form of appeal. For 3 years in my project, from 1992 to 1995, I never approached anybody. But it's when the government itself decides that they want to be in the oil business and decide who invests and who doesn't invest, then business has to react. And if you sit down with people who only want to give you 20 minutes to decide on such a major project, then what is your appeal? So I find there's nothing wrong in that. That represents a lot for foreign policy. It represented 20,000 jobs for Americans, which are now gone to foreigners.
You think your other competitors in the oil business are getting access through money also?
Well, I don't know, but I met them in the parties there.
What's your impression over the last week? How do you feel about how you've been treated?
I feel great. I think we have a great nation. We have great media, which is important. In other countries, I could not have the access to explain my side of the story. And I think no matter how much we criticize the system, it's still better than other systems I see around the world.
With this latest exposure, however, don't you feel that this type of exposure is going to be more damaging than helpful?
To who?
To you personally.
I don't think so. I think the people I deal with are above these things. They know how the world works. I mean, if you're dealing with people who want to get things done in a tough neighborhood, they know how the world works.
So the bottom line for you is not right.
It's not only money talks, it's more than money. I mean, you've centered on this project as if it's a money project. Of course there's money, and we're a capitalist system. But there's also security of oil supplies that took us to war several times.